There's some news that came out of Dallas, and when we heard this particular news, he was like, oh man, no, come on, bruh. I mean, these people, you have a serious white supremacist conclave going on in Dallas. So you remember the brother that testified during the trial. His name is Joshua Brown. He was a neighbor that lived across the way from Botham Jean. Now, he testified he did what he was supposed to do. He did the righteous thing. He told the truth and tried to stand in the gap for his brother that wasn't here anymore. And while he's doing what he's supposed to do, he ended up losing his life Friday night. But let's play just a short clip of this brother and how he took it when he was given a short testimony about Botham Jean.
Had you met the complainant before that day?
The complainant, you mean?
Yeah, Botham Jean.
Both, yeah, yes. Well, I met him that day.
Okay. Had you ever seen him in the building before that day?
No, I can't say I can't say I seen him. I heard him in there.
Okay. When you say you heard him, what did you mean?
Heard him singing every morning.
Okay. You heard him singing. What kind of things did you hear him sing?
Gospel music, Drake.
And your door is directly across the hall from where Mr. John's apartment was, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so in the mornings, were you inside of your apartment when you heard Mr. John singing, or outside of your apartment?
I'll probably hear him when I come out, lock my door. I'll hear him.
Okay. So from in the hallway, you can hear his activities inside his apartment?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? You have to say it out loud, I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
May I approach you, Honor?
Yes. Here.
Thank you. And we can take a moment, Joshua. This is fine. We're not in a rush, okay?
Yeah, we need a moment.
Deputy Johnson. She's like, you retired. All right.
So you see how our brother took it very hard. Now, Friday night, this brother was killed on the 4600 block of Cedar Springs Road. Now, the family ended up reaching out to Lee Merritt, and they asked him to try to find out who did this. Now, at first, the Dallas police didn't want to put out the name, and Lee Merritt had to find out through the assistant district attorney that Joshua Brown was killed. Now, you know what they shot this brother at, according to the family and what other people are saying? They ran up on him and shot him at close range in the chest and in the mouth. That is not only retaliation, but that is sending a message. And that's sending a message to all black people, and we know it. And I don't care who the killer is, because it could be a Nipsey Hussle situation. We know who behind that. So it wouldn't shock me if it's a Nipsey Hussle situation, or if them folks did it, you'll never find out who it is. You know, like Chicago, all these shootings, you never find out who did it. But you know my particular theory about that. I got the white supremacists really bad about that theory. The thing is, with this brother, none of us knew that he was getting threatened this way. I didn't know. I hadn't heard no one else know anything about him. Even the prosecutor said with this case, many people did not want to say anything. So you mean to tell me the people and the citizens in Dallas, Texas are afraid of the Dallas Police Department? They didn't want to say what they saw with a case. I thought that you said that if you see something, say something. I thought that's what you guys go on. You call 911 every 5 minutes on black people when you just see us walking down the road, when it come time for us to say what you actually done. Amber Guyger murdered both of them, John, murdered him, and yet people was afraid to say something. Now, let's fast forward to Brant John. Think about him for a minute. He's asking and begging the judge to go hug Amber Guyger, and she's running into his arms. We've seen this over and over and over. The media won't stop playing that. They're not even talking about her conviction as much, but they're showing her hugging this boy. That weak, spineless act. And now you have another black man that was killed, and another type of black man that was worth something in our community. This young brother was a former athlete, and he was an entrepreneur. He had managed many Airbnbs. He had 2 in LA he was managing. He had some here in Texas. He had some other places, but he was doing for himself, being an entrepreneur. And this is the brother that they killed. Why this brother wasn't in any kind of witness protection? That's what I want to know. If you know he was getting threats, why wasn't this brother encouraged to leave that area? Don't be nowhere near that area at all. Why is it that he was still in Dallas? That's what I want to know. If he was getting threats all this time about testifying. You see, when I tell y'all about getting your passport and going to Africa and just going to see how it is and get you a place that you can say, this is a place I could come to if I have to. All black people should have that attitude. I'm going to have my passport, and just in case I get in any kind of issue that nobody can help me out of, at least I know I can hop a plane and go to Africa and be fine over there. I don't have to let hardly nobody know where I'm going. I can just go. Now let's talk about Bunny. You remember her that I interviewed? And once again, I want to give a shout out to Sister Kimberly with True Royal Family and Lisa Cabrera for arranging that, because they arranged that. I didn't know the sister. I had no contact with her at all. Sister Kimberly and Lisa Cabrera arranged the whole thing so we can contact with her and met her. When I met that particular sister, I met her at a different location. She never even told me where she was staying. And I'm glad, because I didn't want to know, first and foremost. When I talked with this sister, you can tell that she was kind of on edge, but she was extremely truthful. She was still calm. And you saw in the interview when we conducted that. If you didn't see that interview, we'll put the link in the pinned comment. You can go check that interview out. But this sister wanted to get her story out. Some things she could have said at the time, she would have, but she could not. Understand that. At least she wanted to get her story out. And you know what these people was trying to do after she conducted that interview? They would not stop calling her for an interview. Wouldn't stop. Over and over and over and over and over. Wouldn't stop calling her. They could not understand why did she end up speaking with us. But actually, she spoke to Sister Kimberly and Sister Lisa way before she spoke to me. So I wasn't the only one that she spoke to. But I guess maybe they saw our interview. So there was a call that she received at the time from the Daily Mail. I'll never forget that, because she called me and told me. And the woman from the Daily Mail asked her, why can't I get an interview? And she said, I don't want to interview with you. I'm sorry. And that woman said, well, I don't understand. Why did you interview with the other guy, Phil? Because she called me by name, she said. Why did you interview with him? He said, because he has something that you don't have. That's why I interviewed with him. And so she told the woman, when the woman responded, say, well, what is it that he has that I don't have? And she said, what you don't have is you're not a black person. You're not a black media outlet. You're going to edit my words like all of them do. So no, I don't want your money. Because they offered her $1,000 for a silhouette interview. They offered her $5,000 for an on-camera interview. They had many other organizations offering her all kind of numbers for interviews. And this sister was so smart. Now I think about everything now. I see what happened to Joshua Brown. I mean, she saw the writing on the wall. She saw it. She said, I'm not going to let these people twist my words. I'm not gonna let them chop up my words, because that was she said immediately. Said the reason why I'm talking to you because I know you don't get down like that, and I've seen your work. I know you don't chop people's words up and try to make people look a certain way. See, people pay attention to that. And she said, I just want to get this story out. And then we end up promoting her GoFundMe. And then at the time period where it started off with maybe a little over $4,000, it went to over $25,000. Not because of me, but because of all the people that watched it and felt her pain with this story. They criminalized her like she did something wrong. She didn't shoot nobody. She just filmed the video. And yet she lost her job. She had a pharmaceutical job and they stripped of her credentials, blackballed her, called her a cop hater, called her an extremist. All this just because she shot a video. She didn't do anything. She had to uproot her whole life because of the situation that Amber Guyger, a convicted murderer, done to another man. Then, when the case was going on, and I'm going to read you exactly because people asked me, have I ended up speaking to her electronically? Yes, I did speak with her. And when I had asked her how she was doing, she responded back and said, hey, Phil, thanks for reaching out. I'm doing okay. And then the day that she was found guilty, I let her know about that if she was watching. And she said she watched it. It brought her to tears. So she said that she had been receiving a lot of well wishes. And she was watching and waiting for the verdict. Now, there was a guy by the name of Chad that emailed me at the time. And he said that he had access to get her Facebook and Instagram page back because she was selling clothes online through her Facebook and Instagram page. And while all this was going on, they shut down her Facebook and Instagram page. And then she was selling clothes, like T-shirts, like regular clothes. She wasn't selling sex clothes and none of that. They shut her pages down. So she can't make no money. You see how they all start clicking up against an innocent woman that saw the writing on the wall, saw that she would have been Joshua Brown. So then, as she's waiting for the verdict, she told me, thank you for forwarding that screenshot. So when she saw that Brant John, listen to me, when she saw him do this hugging situation, when she put her life on the line, when she lost her job, her credentials, she lost her side hustle, selling clothes online, lost all of that. Her whole life got uprooted. And the other brother that seen what happened, told what happened, he gets shot in the chest and the mouth. And she knows that. She said when she seen that, after all of that, she said that brother literally made my stomach turn. That ish was so embarrassing. Think about it from her point of view. All your life get uprooted, and that's what you go do? That's what you go do. That. People's lives, one life is gone. I'm talking about outside the both of them, John. And you have another sister that she has to live her life like some criminal on the run, not letting people know where she at, like she committed some kind of crime. Like no different than one of our freedom fighters in the past, criminalizing them, where they having to leave the country so they won't be harmed or killed. Now, many people have went back to her GoFundMe because she still kept it up. And I've seen as of recent, it's jumped up to $45,000, and rightfully so. The people need to support their sister. Let me tell you something. It may be Bunny today, but it could be somebody else or you tomorrow. Because if they doing it to her, if they killing Joshua Brown, they'll do it to anybody else. There's many other people who saw things and reported them, and then they not here anymore. And it won't matter the color either, because when they trying to cover up, they don't care. They will get at you. This is something that goes on in third world countries, dictatorships. How is America any better than those nations? When you have this kind of things going on, you killing people who speaking up for things that you done. That's what you understand. Things that she done. We knew the Dallas Police Department was a problem when you find out they have 3 police unions. They can't be in the same union together as police officers. They have a white union, a black union, and a Latino union. You know that police department screwed up. And that's dangerous for the citizens of Dallas, that the police can't be together. They got to separate themselves by race. Well, how you think they acted on the streets of Dallas? A racist conclave. You heard all those text messages, not only Amber Guyger, but that cop, Martin Rivera. He killed a black person, and yet he on there talking racist, and he's still on the Dallas Police Department. That case needs to be opened back up because this guy obviously, in my opinion, killed him because he's black. Because if he didn't do it, why is he talking that way about black people, black officers? This whole thing is sick. This whole case is sick. You know, that young boy is sick. There's so much that's just wrong with this. And the only good thing about this, the whole world can see it now, because this isn't nothing new. Black folks have always stood up and fought for things and lost their lives, and then they can control the story. But now everybody can tell the story how it is in real time. And this is what black people have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with. That's why you don't come to me with no people of color. What is a people of color? Is people of color dealing with these issues as much as black Americans dealing with these issues? No. That's why I don't talk about no people of color. Don't you call them to me about no people of color. You disrespecting me and you disrespecting my family, saying people of color. That's not even a classification. That lets you know what they think about us, calling us people of color. But black folks, when we talk about these issues, I'm not making these videos just to be making them. I'm not. I'm trying to tell you, learn from everything you see. Learn. What's the lesson learned with this situation? If you catch one of them doing something and you film a video, do not try to be the hero or heroine and put yourself up and identify yourself as you shot that video. Take that video, find every content creator you can and email that video and say, hey, this is where it's at. This is the city. This is the state. This is what the circumstances, and leave it at that. Let the content creators all talk about that. If you want to say, you know what, I don't want to be nothing involved with that case, do an interview, put it out there and get away. Because obviously, in some cases, when you have a racist police department, obviously, and I don't even want to get talking about one of them that was exposed years ago in that Dallas Police Department. I mean, this is a serious issue. This is a very, very serious issue. Police departments have a lot of white supremacists on them. The FBI said that a long time ago. They have infiltrated the police department. They have infiltrated all kind of areas of law enforcement, prisons, wherever. They started off infiltrating just so they can let each other know when a raid is coming. But they want to enact their white supremacist attacks against black people, first and foremost. This brother did everything right. Everything right. And when the time came, they still went at him. This system did not protect him. They did not protect him at all. This is sick. This is so sad and sick. We got to assess what's going on in America. Assess it. We are all we have in this nation. I'm not saying other people don't want to come in and try to assist because maybe they have children or they have a spouse that's black. But we all we have. Well, seriously, this system wasn't built to protect us at all. When you're getting criminalized for recording a video that you didn't kill anybody, you're the one that's getting visits constantly every day. You're the one being harassed like you done something wrong. Go watch the interview with Bunny, how she details how she was harassed. And she didn't take any kind of interview from the mainstream media. She didn't take a dime from them. That's a woman with integrity. And it's rare to see a young woman with that kind of integrity to say, I don't want your money because I know what you're going to do. You're not going to use me. Keep your money. And at the end of the day, the people bless her way more than what them folks are offering her. That is a sister with integrity. Now you have a mother that lost her son. It's very, very upsetting. It's so upsetting. His brother had a tough time for all that time dealing with the death of both of John, and then he lost his life to protect what? A murderer? A murderer that's in jail? See, these white supremacists, they didn't like the fact that she got convicted of murder. They didn't like the 10-year sentence. Even though we know she's not going to be in there long, it's not about her not being in there long. It's the fact is they view this as an L and they don't take them lightly. This is why we can't run around here talking about, I forgive you. You want to do it? Go to your house. Get on your knees, pray to God, say, I forgive them. Do whatever you want to do. You can forgive them. Nobody say you don't have to forgive nobody. Go do it at your house. It is nothing in that Bible that tells you have to do a public display in front of everybody. Because actually, you're supposed to do things in secret and God rewards you openly. That's the way that should work. You put on a public spectacle doing that. And that mess that that boy did hurt all of us. Got us all looking stupid with that boy done. The judge hugging her, giving her a Bible. You know, they filed a complaint on her. I don't even care about that. The fact is, what went down in that courtroom, what happened to our brother Joshua Brown, and what's currently going on with Bunny is not right. It is not right. But this is racism, white supremacy, folks, in rare form. People throughout the world that watch this show, you write me from all over the world. This is racism, white supremacy. This is it. See, the American media is not going to tell you that. They're going to lie to you. They're going to make 100 videos about Donald Trump all day. Like we care about that. But they're not going to talk about the reality of what's going on in this nation, especially for the black man and black woman of America. We're not lying to you when we're telling you what we're dealing with and we're going through. We're not, quote unquote, race baiting. That's a dumb word, race baiting. You try to find everything else to come up with instead of dealing with your sin and your evil. The ones who's committing it, of course, because, you know, some people, you got to spell it out that way because they don't just think about, well, hey, he's not talking about me. I'm not that way. I have to actually say it. This is utterly sad. Well, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular situation with, you know, our brother Joshua Brown. And, you know, I want to put it out there. If the family want to reach out to us, you know, let us know what's going on. We'd love to talk with them. I don't know them, but we definitely would love to talk with them if, you know, they can. If they can email me or get in contact with Kellen, you know, that would be great if they choose to do so, because, you know, now what are their life gonna be in danger now? You know, that's how we thinking about everything with this particular case when you have all these racists on the Dallas Police Department. But, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we got to stick together. We got to be unified. Stop all this dividing over stupidity. They don't care. Both of them, John was from St. Lucia, and this brother right here, he is a, you know, black American. They don't care if you call yourself ADOS or St. Lucia or Africa. They don't care. That's why I told you I don't get involved with those divisions, because I know how these folks are. When they come out to us, all they see is black. They don't see nothing else. They don't care about our religion, how we speak, where we come from, if we speak the King's English, if we are Pookie and Ray Ray, if we educated, they don't care. That's why I don't get involved with all that division talk about us, because I know exactly what these people do. They have no respect of persons when it comes to trying to harm and kill us as black people.